Hey, it's Tara, and today I'm going to talk about my 4OU experience when I went to go see the Dolan twins and meet the Dolan twins in Phoenix. This was already like a while ago. It was July 8th, and I went with my best friend Liz, and I'm just going to tell you guys like how it was for me, like what my experience was, what happened, like all this stuff. Honestly, if I could relive this night, I would, because there's just so many things I feel I didn't do correctly, I guess, if that's a word. I mean it is a word, but like you can't, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm just gonna get on with the video. Okay, so I live in Vegas and my best friend, she lives in Arizona. So I didn't see her for like 3 years, and we've been best friends for 5 years. So it was a really, really long time. And the Dolan twins announced their 4OU tour, and they weren't coming to Vegas. And I was like, okay, well, I could go to LA because LA is not that far. And then I was like, wait, there's an Arizona date. Why don't I just go to Arizona and then I can visit my best friend on top of it? So that is what I did. I flew to Arizona and we went to 4OU in Tempe on July 8th. So basically how it all went. So the first thing is we made these like huge heads of Grayson and Ethan. She had the Ethan one and I had the Grayson one because I'm a Grayson girl. She's an Ethan girl. You know, ignore my bird in the background. He won't stop squawking. But anyways, okay, so they were like these huge heads, right? And they weren't like good photos of them. They were like really, really funny like photos of them. I had the one where Grayson was sneezing, and she had one where Ethan was making like a really, really funny face, and it was just so funny. And then we were both wearing shirts, and mine said mentally dating Grayson Dolan, and hers said mentally dating Ethan Dolan. But it was like single taken, then the check mark was mentally dating. Yeah, you get the point. Okay, so basically we got there at like, I think it was 4:30ish. I don't know. They wouldn't let anyone line up until 3, but we were kind of late, so we got there at 4:30ish, and we were not in like the way back of the line, but we weren't in the way front either, because obviously the people that had front of the line passes and stuff like that were all the way up on the top. So we were standing in line, and she was standing in line like before me because I had to go do something first. So then when I came back, she had met this girl, and yeah. So basically we ended up like meeting some pretty dope people in the line, and like we're both still like friends with them now, or one of the people, because the other person had to leave, but that's irrelevant. Anyway, so we were standing in this line for hours. It was so hot. It was like 110 degrees that day. It was dry, hot heat, and it was disgusting. It was awful. I was dying. And then we finally got somewhere where there was shade, and it wasn't as bad, but it was still really, really hot. So we basically have to wait in line for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, something around there. And so we finally get inside, right? And we end up getting stuck in like the back because we don't want to squeeze through the people to get through the front. And I wouldn't want to do that because like the front of the line people pay to be in the front, you know? And it's just like you don't want to like do that, you know? I don't know. We just ended up staying in the back, and we waited for about another half an hour before they went on, and we got merch and all that stuff, and then we kind of just stood in the back and we talked, and then they finally went on, and oh my god, they were so perfect. Like everyone was screaming so much. It was just crazy. I will insert like clips throughout this video. You'll see. But yeah, it was just insane how loud people were. So they basically came out and they were like, they did their, they had this like opening video, and it was super cute. We were on there for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, doing like various challenges. They did the shot color spelling bee, the I don't remember exactly like everything they did, but they basically did a few challenges and then they went off stage, and then Alex Iono came on, and he is something. He is so good. He's so good live too. Like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And he had like his own intro video and everything.
What's a friends, it's out. What's a friends, it's out. What's a friends, it's out. What's a friend, 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 friend, what's a friend, what's a friend, friend, what's a friend, what's a friend, it's Alex. What's a friend, 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 friend, what's a friend, what's a friend, it's Alex. What's a friend, what's a friend, friend, what's a friend, what's a friend, what's a friend, it's
It was so great. And then we kind of just like bopped to his music for a little bit, you know. And then the twins came back out again and they did another challenge, but with Alex. Well, no, first they came out by themselves.
I look for someone who's down to like go on adventures and yes, that's cool. I don't know. Not too big. Confidence is that what it's trade.
First thing I noticed off the bat is
And then they did another challenge with Alex. And basically, they have these light sticks, and if you bought them, you would automatically get entered into like this raffle to like get picked to go on stage with them and do this and all that. I unfortunately did not get picked, but it's okay. So these three girls got picked, and they went up on stage.
I Am That Girl is a support system, a community, and a movement that is helping girls to be exactly who they are, instead of who they think they're supposed to be. They are creating a space for girls to have honest conversations about things that matter. Every day, girls are given messages telling them what they're not, that they need to look a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way, and be a certain way. And we think you're enough exactly as you are. We're working with our favorite organization, I Am That Girl, to share messages celebrating girls for who they are. I Am That Girl is raising the standard for how girls treat themselves, each other, and the world. They're creating a new normal where it is cool for girls to lift each other up instead of break each other down. You can start a local chapter and follow them online. We care about girls, and that's why we are teaming up with I Am That Girl. And we hope you will too.
And they went up on stage, and basically they had to be like twins, like conjoined twins almost, because they were all in like one shirt, like each team. So like Grayson was with a girl, Ethan was with a girl, and Alex was with a girl, and they had to like shoot baskets, and that's how that went. And then Alex, then they did another challenge, and then Alex did one dance. And it was amazing. Okay, it was amazing.
Put it in. Oh, boy. All right. Oh, everybody's loud. Okay. Let's find out.
after that, we had to go to the meet and greet. So first of all, the front of the line people went in first, and the wait was a really, really long time. It was a really, really long line. There had to have been at least 50, maybe more people meeting them, along with us. So Alex came out and he decided to do his own little like meet and greet, and he, by the way, he's like the sweetest person ever. Like, he's so kind and sweet, and he like genuinely like listens to what you're saying. Like, it's so cute. So basically, me, Liz, and Sage all decided to wait in line to meet Alex. So we ended up meeting Alex. But he was super, super sweet, and I'm super glad that I met him. And like, it was so weird because I didn't say much to him. I kind of just told him like what pose I wanted to do, and then I told him that I loved him, and he was like, he said that he liked my hair, and I was like, hey. After that, we waited in line for the meet and greet with them, and by then all the front of the line people had pretty much gone in. There was just a few people, and then it was our turn. So once we waited in line for about another 30-40 minutes, I believe, before we got up to the front. So we walked in, and they only let a few people in at a time, so you're basically like by yourself with them. Like, obviously there's security guards and stuff like that. You're not like by yourself with them, but there isn't like other fans in there with you. That's what I'm trying to say. So you could either choose to go by yourself, or you could, if you're with a group, you can go together. So me and Liz decided to go together because we wanted to originally do like a pose where we needed 2 people, but we never ended up doing that pose, and I will explain why in just a second. So we get in, right? And they're like, oh, if you have gifts, like set them on this table. We didn't really have anything, we just had the heads, but we weren't planning on giving them to them, but now we kind of regret not giving it to them. So we had the heads, and we're like, oh, well, can we show them at least? Like, we're keeping these, but can we show them? And they're like, okay, we'll show them. So Ethan grabbed his head, and he was like showing Cam, and it was so cute, and I went and dropped my stuff off behind the security guard and stuff like that. So the first person I hugged Ethan first, and he's like, hi, what's your name? And I was so stupid. I literally, he goes, hi, what's your name? And I go, oh my god. And he just laughs at me, and then he goes, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, it's Tara. And then he hugged me and goes, hi, Tara. And oh my god, it was so awkward. And then I went over to Grace, and I didn't jump in his arms, but like I would like wrap my arms around him super, super fast, and I like would not let go of him. And he's like, what's your name? And I was like, it's Tara. And then I stared at him for like 30 seconds, like this awkward stare at him for 30 seconds, and he broke the silence and he goes, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too. Like, I was so shook. It was the funniest thing. So I basically just like held on to him the whole entire time, and Liz was talking to Ethan about stuff. I'm not really sure what she was talking to him about, because I was kind of blocked everything out except for me and Grayson. Like, in that moment, it was just me and Grayson. I didn't see anything else, and honestly, he gives the best hugs. Like, they both give really, really good hugs, and I don't know, I just felt home. Like, I felt safe in his arms, if that makes sense. So then the security, and then obviously we were both so shook that we didn't even tell them which poses we wanted to do. So we just did like a standard pose, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. It was super great. And then after that, I kissed Grayson on the cheek and I hugged him, and then I left, and that's basically my 4OU / meeting the Dolan twins experience. It's not like super great like some other people's experiences. So yeah, I'll see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!